Hey everyone, this is Dylan, and today I'm going to be doing a ranking video of the segments of the Creepshow television series on Shudder. So I have never done a ranking video on my channel, but I will be doing a few in the future, so I figured I would do this. And I recently just finished watching the Creepshow series, which has been on Shudder for a while, but I had just gotten around to watching it because I kind of ride my subscription of Shudder. I take breaks and only re-get it once I find something that I really want to watch that's available on the service, and I got it for the Halloween time to watch Dragula Resurrected, and while I was doing that, I was like, I have it for a month, so let me watch some other things on here. The Creepshow was one of them. So I thought it would be a fun idea to watch it all and then give a ranking of my favorite and least favorite segments. So there are 6 episodes altogether. There's 2 segments per episode. So there's going to be 12 placings in this ranking altogether. I'll give a brief synopsis about each one as I get to it, and then kind of some of the things I like and don't like. At number 12, we have Times is Tough and Muskie Holler. Obviously, this is my least favorite of the segments. I think that this could have been a very interesting segment if it was longer. Like, if we had a full hour of this, I think it would be really interesting. But basically, the premise of this is there's been a coup in this town, and the people who took over were bad people, and then they end up having another coup to take the bad people out, and basically their punishment is to be eaten by zombies. It's kind of weird. It does have David Arquette in it, who is doing a very odd voice. I've never heard David Arquette talk like that, but it was interesting enough. And I should preface this, but all of these aren't terrible. The ranking is just based off of my preference, but I would probably go back and rewatch all of these. This episode did have some really good special effects on the zombies, so that is a good redeeming quality for it. Number 11 is Bad Wolf Down, and this is like werewolves meet zombies, which I feel like has been done before. It just did not work very much for me, but I know a lot of other people really enjoyed this segment, so it's kind of just like, what do you like? Then coming in at number 10, we have All Hallows Eve. And this is one where it's like your basic Halloween revenge tale. A group of bullies pulls a prank which results in the death of some kids on Halloween. So then every Halloween after that, these kids come back to enact their revenge for what had happened to them. So this one was just kind of a middle of the road meh title, but it still is interesting. At number 11, we have The House of the Head. And this is in the first episode, and I actually did like this. I didn't think I liked it at first, but I would definitely say this is like the least scary or gory of all of the episodes. And I think that this would have probably been a better choice if it were like a Goosebumps episode or a show like that for children, because basically the premise is this girl has a really nice dollhouse, and she finds a little zombie head in there, and the zombie head is terrorizing the dolls inside of this house and killing them and stuff like that. So every time she would open up the dollhouse, everything would be moved, like it had a mind of its own. And she is very resourceful, and she wants to go get a priest or a rabbi or something to clean the house, but what happens is they don't have that at the doll store, which they have a full shop for doll houses, which seems kind of unreasonable, but whatever. Then coming in at number 8 is By the Silver Water of the Lake Champlain, and I actually really enjoyed this one. This is like a Loch Ness Monster one, basically, but this girl's father has died while looking for this Loch Ness Monster, which is not a Loch Ness Monster because it's called Champ. I believe that it's in a lake in Illinois, but basically they go to the lake and they find the Loch Ness Monster washed up on the shore. So it was pretty cool. The effects on this were very good. It was done by Tom Savini, so of course they are pretty good. Coming at number 7 is The Finger, and I actually really liked this one up until we saw what the creature looked like. So the basic premise of this is this guy kind of goes around and collects kind of stuff that people's throwing out that he can reuse. And while he's going around collecting this, he finds a finger. And he doesn't know what it is, but he's like doing research on it, and then all of a sudden he knocks over a beer and it falls on top of the finger and kind of absorbs the beer, and we find out that the finger starts growing. It grows into a full arm, and then it grows into a creature, which is basically a ripoff of a xenomorph, but like a tiny if a xenomorph was like a dog. And it basically starts doing his bidding, and I liked it, but I thought that the creature just did not look very good, and it was too much of a ripoff of a xenomorph that it kind of took me out of the story. Number 6 is Lydia Lane's Better Half, and this is where we have a CEO who is looking for the next chief financial officer of this corporation that she's built. She's like Woman of the Year, and I don't think it's the New York Times, but it's like something close to the Times, and she has 2 candidates in her office, and one of them is this man and another one is her kind of like lover. She gives the promotion to the guy, and her lover is kind of like, why didn't I get this promotion? This is something that I was really wanting. I don't want to be just second to you. And they get into a little bit of a fight, and she kind of Lydia pushes the girl, or pushes her lover, and she falls and hits the trophy that she won for being a Woman of the Year and dies. And she's then has to figure out how she's going to, because there's like this huge party going on because the guy just got a promotion, and she has to figure out how she's going to get the body out of the apartment. And I think that this one was a really fun episode. Coming in at number 5 is The Companion. This guy lives on a farm, and his wife had recently passed away, and he was very lonely, so he built a scarecrow, and his wife was like a sewer, and he like used a heart and like all of the stuff that his wife had made, and this caused the scarecrow to come alive, and basically the scarecrow kind of becomes protective over this guy and starts killing. Like, there was this little Girl Scout that comes up to the house, and the scarecrow comes down and kills this Girl Scout, and this guy has to figure out what he's going to do and to try to get rid of this, and it doesn't turn out that well. So this actually was a pretty decent episode, and I definitely enjoyed it and would recommend checking it out. For me, at number 4 is The Man in the Suitcase. I just thought that this was a super fun episode. The basic premise is this guy is coming back from vacation, and there's nobody around. He's in the airport, and he is looking for his luggage, and there's like nobody around, and it's the last luggage on the thing, and so he grabs it, takes it home, and he's like sitting in his apartment. He gets high, and then he hears something coming from the luggage, so he ends up opening it up, and there's this guy who is like crammed into this luggage, and his head's here, his foot's like right next to him, and he basically asks the guy who found him to help him out of the suitcase. And basically every time the guy in the suitcase feels pain, he like spits up coins, and basically this becomes a cautionary tale of greed. And so I really liked it. This episode definitely had a lot of more of the comedic elements to it, so really happy with that one. At number 3, we have Night of the Paw, and this is basically a monkey's paw tale where a guy has found a monkey's paw was given a monkey's paw at his like funeral home, and his wife dies from the monkey's paw, so then he gets the monkey's paw and he makes some wishes, and then the monkey paw gets passed off to another person that comes into this because she is part of like this wish of a monkey from the monkey's paw from the guy, if that makes any sense. Then we have number 2, which is Gray Matter, and this is definitely one that was based off of a Stephen King adaptation or short story. This was based off of a Stephen King short story, and it's basically where this guy and his son are kind of like living alone, and the guy is a drunk, and all he does is basically drink beer all day, and he opens up one of the beers and drinks it, but it's been infected with something, so he basically kind of becomes like a sludge monster. It's very interesting, and I thought that the effects and the overall feel of this episode was really cool. Then this is like the first segment we see in the entire series, so definitely really liked that. And then coming at number 1 was Skin Crawlers, which is in the last episode of this series, and this one was just a super fun episode. There's some comedy in it and a kind of relatable nature of this. So basically this is like some miracle doctor is like, we can instantly get rid of fat, and we've found this like leech essentially in the South American rainforest, and this leech will instantly get rid of all of the fat in your body because it eats it. And what happens is they have tested it in all of these different scenarios but one, and the one scenario that they never tested for, because it only happens once every century, happens, and things go very, very poorly for it. So that is actually my favorite segment in the entire series, but I would definitely recommend checking this out. They do have a season 2 coming at some point, and then they also have the animated special, which I did a review of fairly recently, so definitely make sure to check that one out. If you've seen Creepshow, the TV series on Shudder, let me know what you thought about it and what your favorite segment in the series was. So that is it for this ranking, and remember, if you're not already subscribed and you'd like to be, please hit that subscribe button down below and give this video a like if you liked it. Thank you guys for watching and have a great day. Bye!